If you are looking for the best butter dish, you're in the right place. We have tried to include in-depth information on best butter dish in our video, which will be enough to fulfill all of your needs. All of them are maintaining their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturer, and a real customer feedback. If you want to buy a best butter dish, we think this list will be very worthy to you. Now, let's get started with the video. At the first position of our list, we have DOWAN Porcelain Butter Dish. Whether you like to store your butter in the refrigerator or at room temperature on the table, the DOWAN Porcelain Butter Dish is tuned to keep the maximum amount of butter as fresh as possible for the longest period of time. This porcelain tub offers plenty of storage space, accommodating 2 sticks of either West Coast, Short or East Coast, full-size sticks, or an 8-ounce cube of European butter. When stored at room temperature, the butter stays perfectly spreadable, and the dish offers plenty of room if you need to cut away a tablespoon for baking purposes. Simple in appearance yet well-refined in design, it features a silicone ring around the beechwood lid. It doesn't snap shut for a true airtight seal, but it will keep butter fresh for at least 2 weeks at room temperature. Though porcelain is scratch-resistant, it's certainly not drop-proof, something to consider if you're accident-prone. Compared to other models we tested, cleanup is slightly complicated by the beechwood lid, which requires hand-washing. And though our butter stayed fresh, it did oxidize slightly over our 2-week test period, becoming slightly discolored. For those who want to keep their butter in the fridge to avoid any issues, this dish is microwave safe, so you can easily warm your butter back up. We even considered how fun it would be to use the versatile DOWAN dish as a miniature baking crock. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Cooler Kitchen Modern Bamboo Butter Dish. For those of us who are accident-prone, the incredible durability of the Cooler Kitchen Modern Bamboo Butter Dish only adds to its already impressive value. Using an all-natural resin that combines bamboo and corn fibers, designers for Cooler Kitchen improve on the classic stoneware or porcelain clay construction to create a nearly indestructible dish. Although we instinctively started using it as a tub, it is actually designed to be used as a dish with a lid. Depending on storage preference, it works well from any direction. Like many of the other tubs we tested, this one also kept our butter perfectly spreadable for at least a few weeks at room temperature. Even though this dish can accommodate West Coast, East Coast, and European cuts of butter, the limited capacity means it can only hold 1 stick of each. The material is also ultra lightweight and annoyingly has a habit of sliding around on the table when you're trying to cut or scoop out butter, illustrating the importance of material even in such a simple device. Overall, while indestructibility may not be the first thing to come to mind when considering a butter dish, the combination of durability and versatility make the modern bamboo dish a solid competitor for the modern kitchen. The number 3 position is held by Butterie Crock. Our lead tester is a self-professed Francophile, and if he had it his way, the Butterie Crock would be at the top of this list. A modern take on the classic French Gruyere. This special design requires that you pack softened butter into the lid, pour cold water into the base, and place the lid butter side down into the water. This helps to keep butter at a Goldilocks-like consistency, not too hard, not too soft, and can keep butter perfectly fresh for an astounding period of time. Many claim to keep butter at room temperature in these crocks year-round. The thick, heavyweight ceramic creates a better seal than others we tested, which is reflected in the ideal consistency it keeps the butter. Unlike other dishes we tested, Bell Crocks technically require a bit of maintenance, in that you have to replace the water in the base from time to time. Similarly, you will have to replace the butter more often than other. Larger options, the cup of the butter bell only fits 1 stick of butter equal to 4 ounces, or half of a European block. Next at number 4, we have OXO Good Grips Butter Dish. The OXO Good Grips Butter Dish is a thoughtfully designed single-stick dish built for the modern kitchen. Like nearly all OXO products we've tested, this simple staple is engineered with efficiency in mind. A few design highlights improve upon and set it apart from many of the other dishes we tested. Side stoppers keep the butter from sliding around inside, and foam stoppers on the base keep it from sliding around on the table. There are also tablespoon markings embossed on the base of the dish, which is especially useful for those who like to bake. While bakers may rejoice over the convenience of measurement marks and the consistency of the butter, the rest of us looking for the perfect spread are left wanting. Not only is the butter too firm at room temperature, but a clear plastic lid does not protect it from potentially melting in the sun when left out on the kitchen counter. Even though the OXO Good Grips dish represents an upgrade on other plastic dishes in this review, there's still room for improvement. The number 5 position is held by Rubbermaid Standard butter dish. Sometimes, there's a benefit to using plastic products over their all-natural alternatives. With a rugged, transportable design and the only one we tested with a snap-tight lid, the Rubbermaid Standard butter dish is the perfect dish to add to your camping kitchen or picnic basket. There is plenty of space for the lid to snap shut without sticking to your butter, regardless of whether you are using a West or East Coast stick. And the secure lid means you don't need to worry about rogue butter in your cooler camp kitchen setup. Although the airtight seal keeps your butter fresher for longer than other models we tested, the butter from the Rubbermaid Standard was simply too firm at room temperature to be easily spreadable. It is also a simple, single-stick dish, so don't expect to use it for European blocks. But as a durable, inexpensive option, this is the perfect companion for car camping trips or afternoon picnics. The number 6 position is dominated by Le Creuset Stoneware butter dish, matching the acclaimed quality of their classic, enameled Dutch ovens. The Le Creuset Stoneware butter dish can equally stand up to the test of time. This is the largest dish we tested, easily accommodating European blocks and up to 3 West Coast sticks side by side. The manufacturer claims that the dense stoneware blocks moisture absorption to prevent cracking, crazing, and rippling of butter. We can vouch, despite a bit of oxidation, this dish held butter at a velvety consistency for 2 weeks without issue. Even though this dish was one of the highest scoring in our review, it is hard to justify the price based on the modest difference in butter quality. It cost more than double the price of our highest rated tub. The enamel coating does protect the stoneware against scratches, especially when compared to straight porcelain, but it is not protected from crashing to the floor in pieces. However, it is hard to compare any other model in this review to the heirloom quality and vintage aesthetic of the Le Creuset dish. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Sweese Large Porcelain Butter Keeper. Similar in nearly every way, the Sweese Large Butter Dish is a nice alternative to the award-winning DOWAN tub. Like the other, this large capacity tub offers enough space to fit 2 West or East Coast sticks side by side or a single European block. A comparable beechwood lid can double as a petite cutting board for cheese or other bread toppings. The porcelain construction is more chip-resistant than stoneware, and the high-gloss exterior is available in many stylish colorways to brighten up any kitchen. Despite the similarities, the Sweese dish doesn't quite match the keeping quality of its direct competitor. Namely, we found that without a silicone seal around the lid, the butter oxidized slightly faster. As a result, it was softer, not inherently a bad thing, but it does open up the possibility of earlier spoilage. Besides these subtle differences, and the fact that it is priced slightly higher, this tub is directly comparable to our top option, making it a fantastic option for any kitchen. The number 8 position is held by Butterie Flip-Top with matching spreader. With a look straight out of the Jetsons, the Butterie Flip-Top is an overhauled vision of a classic plastic dish. Although the recognizable flip-top design doesn't approach airtight, we were happily surprised by the consistency and freshness of the butter after our 2-week trial at room temperature. A non-slip pad on the base also keeps the dish in place on the table as you cut away with the matching spreader. The inclusion of a spreader is a nice addition, but we wish the designers of the Butterie had fashioned the cradle in a different place, as the spreader tends to slide out. Although our Western locale kept us from getting our hands on East Coast style butter to test, it is important to note that this dish will not fit 2 West Coast sticks side by side. Unlike its other plastic competitors, this dish is microwave safe, in case you'd rather keep your butter in the refrigerator and soften it up when needed. Next at number 9, we have Norpro Stoneware Butter Keeper. A French butter keeper doesn't have to be a fancy addition to your kitchen. It can be simple, practical, and inexpensive. The Norpro Stoneware Butter Keeper fills that roll perfectly as a cost-effective option to pin against significantly more expensive butter crocks. The glazed stoneware sports a clean design that will surely complement any kitchen countertop, and like all Bell crocks, you can expect perfectly spreadable butter throughout the seasons. This is not one of the larger dishes we tested, nor is it one of the larger crocks on the market. Its cup only fits 1 stick, 1/4 pound of butter at a time. Most importantly, make sure that your butter is already warmed up to room temperature before filling the cup. Temperature appears to have a major effect on the butter adhering to the interior glaze. We eventually learned our lesson, but had butter fall out and into the water base on a few occasions after replenishing the cup with butter straight from the refrigerator. If you're skeptical of this design, the Norpro Butter Keeper provides a low cost of entry for those wanting to try out this style of butter crock. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Kangaroo Glass Butter Dish. The Kangaroo Glass Butter Dish is about as basic as it gets. This is a no-frills dish, with no extras beyond a clear glass cover to store butter out of the package. If you would rather store it in the refrigerator, this dish is also microwave safe if you wanted to use that process to soften it up, regardless of which side of the country you reside on. The lid on the Kangaroo is too short to adequately fit any size stick of butter. Butter will smush and smudge the glass top, and in some extreme instances, it will actually adhere the top and bottom together. When you try to take the top off, we expect this to eventually end in a disaster of broken glass. But if all you want is a simple glass dish, this is certainly a low-cost option. That's all for today. All the product links in the description down below. We upload videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming video notification.